Welcome back, it's Ryzen, and today I'm going to be talking about a webtoon that I recently just read called Manager Kim. Now this series is quite honestly featuring one of the most terrifying fathers that I have ever seen in fiction in Manager Kim himself, and I wanted to use this video to review the series as a whole and also to explain what makes Kim so terrifying, just to pique your interest. So right off the bat, it's important to know that there are only around like 30 chapters of this series out right now at the time of recording, so the series is relatively new, so most of the commentary that I'm going to be giving here is talking about what exists so far as an introduction, more than critiquing it as a standalone piece. And with all that out of the way, what is this series even about? Manager Kim is about a guy named, Manager Kim, and his daughter gets abducted. Kim, being the loving father that he is, wants to do everything in his power to get his daughter back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The plot is very simple, but there is a little bit of a plot twist. Remember how I said that he will do anything in his power to get her back? Well, yeah, that's the thing. This guy's power is absolutely cracked out. Like, don't get me wrong, there aren't any supernatural elements in the story at all, but this guy's strength is just so far beyond human. Manager Kim alone is a threat to the entire nation of Korea, and it isn't an exaggeration to say that he is worth thousands of men, like bare minimum. His character is very similar to the Punisher in a way, if you're familiar with that. But what makes Kim so entertaining and, well, to be honest, scary, is his willingness to do literally anything. And it's more than just a willingness. Like, sometimes it even comes off as him genuinely enjoying it. Like, at one point, he literally shoots a kid's dick off. Like, I'm not even joking. I guess it's up for debate whether or not it was, like, actually a child. But either way, he was probably, like, 18 or 19 or something like that. But, dude, like, just the fact that he shot someone's dick off really shocked me, dude. Like, I did not expect that at all. And that's the thing about this series, man. It kind of tends to catch you off guard sometimes, with both extreme over-the-top action and also with pretty nasty cliffhangers that this series tends to end on, like, pretty much almost every chapter, which is pretty good, honestly. If you're looking for a series that isn't very deep, has good art, some violence, and good action sequences, this is a pretty solid option for you. This series is one of those webtoons where you're really truly only meant to care about and be focused on one character, which is Kim himself. So a lot of your enjoyment of the series will come from how much you like him. And as I touched on earlier, his main personality trait is being a loving father, and someone who doesn't really seem to care about much other than keeping his daughter safe and happy. But I think that the author does a good job of conveying the fact that there's a lot of depth to the character that is unexplored for the time being. There's definitely like a psychotic and insane side to him, and there's also a side to him that is like very socially unaware and just really bad at interacting with people and being a part of society. And this side of him specifically makes it really hard for him to be a father in the first place. So having a character like him that is mysterious and having his past being slowly unveiled and being able to see multiple sides of him, it's just pretty entertaining, man. And I think all of these traits that I mentioned before contribute a lot to the fact that he truly is a scary man. But me personally, I didn't really like him too much.
Fuck you, punk ass, bougie ass, hook ass nigga. I'll beat your motherfucking sadiddy ass nigga. Don't never in your life ever try to holler at me, nigga. Fuck with me, nigga. I'll be.
I prefer characters with an actual human-like personality, right? And I don't really like main characters that are silent or reserved or like terrible socially. I also don't really like it when the character obsesses over a single goal. I mean, it definitely does make sense within the context of this story because like it's literally his daughter. But like in general, I don't really like Manager Kim's style of character. There were a few other characters that I liked though, like this one guy with golden teeth. I don't know, man, he had like a pretty cool backstory and he was kind of like interesting. I liked him. He was pretty entertaining. Also, the corrupt politician or CEO or whatever he was, I thought he was a really good antagonist actually. He's kind of like Kingpin from Spider-Man and Daredevil and I guess Hawkeye anyways. He's just like this absolutely huge buffed out guy who's this incredibly corrupt figure, and he's like a millionaire, dude. He has absolute power in terms of wealth, influence, and overwhelming physical strength. I just love that concept, dude, and characters like this always get me hooked. But I do believe that this series has one fatal flaw, and that is the OPMC aspect. Kim absolutely shreds everyone, and it makes the villain less intimidating. As powerful as that corrupt guy is, I have zero confidence that he can box with Kim, which kinda sucks. There isn't really much tension in the story for me, to be honest. I know that Kim won't get his daughter yet because the story relies on him not being with his daughter. And I know that Kim will never lose a fight because, well, he's Kim. So the series doesn't really have any real stakes to me personally. Remember, however, we're only like 30 chapters in, so this stuff can easily be shaken up and surprise us. So, alright, I gave my take on the story and the characters in kind of a positive way, going over all the things that you could like about it, but what do I really think? Well, to be honest, the series is kind of mid.
What did you say, nigga?
Now hold up, don't get mad. It's just that Manager Kim as a series doesn't really bring anything new to the table. The main character isn't really my style, and some people may call me immature for this, but I prefer this type of story to have supernatural elements.
You know what, motherfucker? Eat a dick.
Now let me explain. I don't at all mind realistic series at all, right? I love realistic series, but the plot has to be good. I'm not really invested or hooked onto the plot or the main character of Manager Kim as a series, so if I'm going to be reading a lot of mindless action, I would like cool abilities and entertaining powers or something. Like, again, I'm not a meathead, don't get me wrong, don't spin it the wrong way. The Punisher has amazing themes and a super compelling story. The Boxer has an amazing main character and amazing character roster. I love Dr. Stone, Vinland Saga, you know, all that stuff, right? All that stuff without supernatural elements. I love it. It has to have a story that hooks me, right? That's what I need. And Manager Kim just doesn't really deliver that for me. It honestly just wasn't really my cup of tea. So I think a lot of you guys will probably like it. I think it's kind of mid, man. It's gonna get a 6 out of 10 from me. I think objectively, however, it might be closer to a 7 or like maybe even an 8. I don't know about all that, but I think another factor is that Manager Kim actually takes place in like a multiverse with like 3 other webtoon. So there's a good amount of references and whatnot that I just simply didn't get. So that probably contributes a lot to it as well. That's about all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and definitely be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more webtoon recommendations and Tower of God videos. If you'd like to take your support to the next level, consider supporting me on Patreon. Shout out to Olibanus for being a patron. Special shout out to Demon God Kane, Gavin, and Nicholas for being irregular tier patrons. And finally, a massive shout out to today's sponsor, Remorsefuls, man. This video was actually a video request that he made through being an Access tier patron. So if you'd like to request any videos, consider checking out the tiers, man. It would support me a lot. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Peace out.
Oh yeah! Look at you! You was popping all that good shit a second ago, then you got kicked in your chest!